there. I hope you're doing well today. When it comes to revamping your website, it's hard to know who to hire because number one, you don't know what you're getting. You don't know if you're comparing apples to apples, and prices can vary a lot. And you also don't know if that person's process is really the right fit for you. So today I'm going to walk you through a recent project, and so you can really understand what you're getting when you work with me. The first thing to know is that my process is very collaborative and it's very efficient. And those two things go really hand in hand. You are the expert on your clientele and your business, and my job is really to help pull those really important nuggets out and craft a narrative and a story around that, and then elevate it all with really beautiful design. So that's really where we begin. We begin with story. Everything that we do starts with the words that are going to be on your website. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. Okay, so you can see here this example. This is a client, his name's Dino, and he is an incredible therapist that helps people find relief from anxiety and trauma. This is his website before he worked with me. And you can see here, I do actually like this statement that he had on his website. I think that's really clear. But there's a lot of things that he wasn't doing on this website that was not helping him attract the right clients and really connect with those people that he wants to connect with. Also, the website really wasn't showing his level of expertise. So I'm going to just show you his current website so you can get a sense of where he was. Check out the amount of navigation pages here. So one thing that we worked on was just to really simplify the architecture of his website and reduce the amount of pages on his website. And then you can see here, just from a type hierarchy standpoint, everything looks kind of the same importance. There's multiple fonts, multiple treatments of that font, but they're all kind of similar in size. So your eye doesn't know where to go and what to read first. It doesn't know what's important. And when someone's overwhelmed when they get to your website, they're likely going to leave. And the other thing that they're going to do is think that you are not good at what you do because you haven't taken charge and kind of told them who you are, what you do, how it's going to help them, and how you want them, what the next step is that you want them to take to work with you. So all of that needs to happen here. Now this photo of Dino it's a great shot of him. I mean, he's a handsome guy, and it's a beautiful shot, but it's a little bit confusing because the work that he does is not outside. He doesn't take people on nature walks. He's not a camp counselor. He's not a river guide. So this would be an appropriate photo for somebody who does that type of work, but he really does one-on-one therapy. So we want people through the photos to be able to envision themselves working with you. So I'll show you in a little bit here what we did to shift that for him. And then you'll see here, this is the home page. There's just way too much text on here. Way too much text. No one's going to read the text, and so this gets immediately skipped over. And then he has a call to action here and some text at the bottom. So if you look here on the right, what we did for him, number one, phase one of working with me is always craft a wireframe. And a lot of people that I talk to, don't even know what a wireframe is, and that's okay. It's kind of marketing lingo, but really all a wireframe is a roadmap, a very black and white roadmap to what are the words that we're going to have on your website and in what order and how is it going to flow and what story are we telling. So it's, I would liken it to maybe a blueprint where an architect might craft a blueprint and then give that to the builder. So a marketer would craft your copy and then give it to a website designer to take that copy and build it. So here's what a wireframe looks like. It's just a very simple document. You can see here, it's kind of long. It's not too long, but it has all the essentials here that really tell your story. So I'm going to go back here and then I'll zoom in here to kind of give you a high level overview of what we did. So we took, his old website, you can see no story really being told here, to a very clear story. Number one, he's stepping in as the guide. He's telling me what he wants me to do next as a potential client. He wants me to call him now. And we have a really clear header here. We've simplified the upper navigation so it's not so overwhelming to people. They don't know where to go and it's too many options. So we've cleaned that up quite a bit. We've started by speaking to the problem that his clientele are dealing with. And that what that does is really help them feel like you're empathetic toward them. And when you understand your client's problem and you can really name it and describe it very well, then they automatically think that you are the best person to solve their problem. So we always start with that. And then we move into the benefits, like what am I going to gain by working with Dino? How am I going to benefit from that? So we move into that next. And then at that point, once we've established who the hero is, we then can introduce Dino as the guide here. So we do that here. We talk about how he's different from the rest. And then we give a very clear 3-step plan of how to work with him. We also weave in some authority to build trust. So here's some bits of authority here of just how much experience he has and what a master he is at his profession. And then we also build additional trust by incorporating testimonials. This is a really critical part of the homepage. And then Dino works with people in 3 different ways. So we really communicated that clearly. It was really hard to know the ways that he works with clients on his old website. But now we have them in clear as day. You can either do one-on-one therapy, men's group, or a course that he offers. And then we wrap up the page with what's at stake if you don't hire Dino. And this is a very important part of the page. It's critical because if nothing is to be lost, then it doesn't really drive home all the positives of working with you. So we want to make sure we end with that what's at stake at the end. And then we also want to make sure he's actively building his email list. So he and I work together and strategize this, 3 simple things you can do right now to calm anxiety. Then he created a video and he can actively help people and help them get to know him. And then he can also be able to market to them by having their email list. So this is really phase 1 of the process. Once we nail down your wireframe, then we move into the design phase. So when you work with me, my collaboration days are on Wednesdays. So we do a collaboration day. I do a bunch of prep work, but together we went through this wireframe to make sure it was really aligned with his voice. We did it on a Wednesday. And then once this was done, we had scheduled a following Wednesday to really dive into the design phase of his website Revamp. So I'm going to show you what that phase looks like now. Okay, so one thing that we helped Dino do was encourage him to get new headshots taken, and we gave him examples of exactly what we were looking for in those headshots. So he had a really clear plan to give to his photographer, and then they captured those shots. You'll see here just the difference in this. He now has a logo. He has very simplified navigation. He has a branded color palette. And we've just created great fonts that align with his clientele, and then brought the most important points to life with visuals like icons. And again, really delved into what makes him different as a therapist. A very clear plan, a palette that communicates calm, warmth, healing, and nature, really inspired by nature in this one. And now someone can visualize themselves working with Dino, because we have a model here who he's talking to in his therapy office. So you can see the difference here. Like I said, this shot of him in the lake is a nice shot, but it doesn't give me an idea of what it feels like to work with him. And now, all of a sudden, through this photography, I really understand what that's like. And then we elevate trust. All of this is really about building trust and helping people get to know him and feel comfortable. Dialed in the 3 ways to work with him. And then hit home with what's at stake if you don't hire Dino. Like, what happens if you live your entire life fighting your own trauma and dealing with the results of, or the experience of, anxiety. And then we created a lead magnet funnel for him, so now he can capture email addresses and market to those people who aren't quite ready to reach out to him. So yeah, that really, you guys, that's what it's all about. I mean, we definitely built out some of his other pages as well, but I wanted to give you a high-level overview of what kind of transformation can happen in just a matter of a couple of weeks. So we did his website copy in 1 week, and then the following week we did his website design. And here we are. Huge dramatic transformation, and now he's showing up with more confidence and more clarity, and really able to talk about what he does in a way that helps him stand out from all the competition. So if you are interested in a website revamp or a total makeover, let me know. Shoot me an email. Visit reddoordesigns.com. That's reddoordesigns.com. REDDOORDESIGNS. Don't forget the S at the end of that. I would love to hop on a call with you and hear about your project. So I look forward to talking with you.